We're in the courtroom here, and behind us is a storage room in which there are various manuscripts and ship's plans, including the so-called Brock papers. P.W. Brock was a Canadian who was trained for the Navy. He attended the Royal Naval College of Canada, which had been established in Halifax just before the Great War. And I can't recall when he went through the college, possibly at the end of the Great War. In any event, he went off, and of course, he went off and joined the Royal Navy. The Canadian Navy then was quite small and was cut back drastically in the 20s, and some of his fellow trainees went off and joined Canadian Pacific Ocean ships and found other maritime jobs like that. In any event, P.W. Brock had his career in the Royal Navy. During the Korean War, he commanded a cruiser, was associated then with Canadian destroyers which were operating in Korea. He had an interest in naval history. He was I think he may have even been the head of the Navy Records Society in England, the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich. Because of his Canadian roots, he was interested in ships that had served out here in the Pacific. Somebody called Colonel Simons was then running the museum in the 60s, and P.W. Brock, Colonel Simons commissioned P.W. Brock to do write-ups on the various Royal Navy ships that had served on the Pacific Station. So those are here. They're in typed form, and they're illustrated with little drawings which have been colored to show the ship. They're kind of charming. I'm sure P.W. Brock would have been the first to say they're not the best of representations, and I'm not even sure who did those little sketches for him. In any event, they're a little gold mine of information about the ships. And that was pretty detailed stuff. Where the ships were built, when they came out to the Pacific, what they did when they went home, what their eventual fate was. He also apparently did some work for Dr. Barry Goff on the operations by the Royal Navy off Kamchatka. The Royal Navy attacked Petropavlovsk during the Crimean War, and it was interesting. They were concerned that there would be casualties, and so they established. They had established hospital facilities in Esquimalt. That was one of the origins of a permanent base in Esquimalt. Was the building of these little hospital huts. In any event, apparently P.W. Brock did a study of the number of ships that were involved in supporting the operations off Petropavlovsk. I mean, we learn about the warships that went to do the operation, which was not successful, but behind all that there was a big logistics effort, and that's the sort of thing he has researched and left. There are also P.W. Brock papers over at the Base Museum. I believe that he left maybe some records of his naval experience.